Okay, thank you very much, Samuel, for inviting me to make a comment again. I want to go back a little bit. The United Nations and the World Health. They talk about sustainable development goals. Of course, there are 17 of them. And number three speaks to health and well-being. Over the years, being a health director and health secretary at Victoria Church, we would have done a lot of in-reach, outreach, and outreach programs. We would have done we have done presentations, invited Davis Moore Hospital to come, and different doctors talking on topical issues, chronic diseases, hypertension, diabetes. We'd have held had outreaches, medical outreaches in various parts of Victoria. And also every crusade, we will always have our health and temperance march to kick off the crusades. And so with that backdrop, I want to, and I launched straight into COVID. We have the acronym New Start, which most persons are familiar with, and there's also another model, celebration model. Basically, which speaks to nutrition. Make sure when we have our plate of food, it's divided in four. We have most of it being greens and the colors, and a little bit of rice in the corner. They make sure we have our from the basic fruit groups and so forth. So we have our nutrition. We are challenged to do exercise. Even in this COVID times, we can do a lot of walking, try to be in the outdoors, drink a lot of fluids, make sure we be more outside too. You'll be indoors, yes, but it's better when we have our sunshine, we have the vitamin D, and so that all this could help to with zinc and so can help us to boost our immune system. And of course, we try to be temperate in a time like this, this festive season. You want to abstain from things which are bad and moderate use of things which are good. And so we stay away from alcohol, of smoking, of course, that, we don't do those things. And of course, the fresh air. We have our folks on the diaspora, but the envy of us is on this East Coast and in Guyana we have we're not so polluted industrialization. So we have the fresh air, the greenery, and the foliage from around us in the East Coast here on the countryside. Samuel, we really in there inhaling the oxygen, the real oxygen. So our lungs should be in good working condition. And so we have the nice fresh air, and then rest is important. You try to get 6 to 8 hours. Some of us are guilty of that. And of course, trust in divine power. In times like these, when persons are depressed, where people are anxious, to know they don't have jobs, the economic impact, and so forth, you need to trust in someone. And so, with that backdrop, the public health measures, which are very familiar. We need to wash our hands,
Yes.
and you have sanitizing. If you don't have soap, if you don't far from the pipe to wash your hands, we can have sanitizers. Of course, after so many washes, sanitizing yourself, you still have to wash your hands. So the main thing is to, as much as possible, try to wash your hands with soap and water for about 20 to 60 seconds. And then we want to maintain our distancing, 6 feet, or at least between 2 to 6 feet. And because it's airborne, so if someone sneezes, we were talking, we were singing, and so forth. So you want to make sure the particles don't affect you and fly in your face and your nostrils, and you inhale it, because you may think that you're strong, but then when you go home you want to protect the vulnerable, the different extremes, the young ones as well as the seniors who may have comorbidities like diabetes and
True.
hypertension. You want to protect that. So you wash your hands, then you try to drink a lot of fluids and so on, and you try to use your supplements. And as I said before, social distancing, and that's the three W's: to wear your masks and wear your mask. Persons, I don't know. I found that people are just thinking that, oh, God is going to protect them, but God won't do for us what we can do for ourselves. So I'm imploring my good friends here. So let's try to ensure that we wear our mask correctly every time, all the time. And as I said before, wash your hands and maintain the distance. And I want to close off by quoting from, I think it was the World Health Director, who says that COVID is taking much from us, yet it is giving us an opportunity to come together in unity, to work, to learn from each other, to work together, and to grow together. And so I will
Yes.
close with that. Let's be positive. Let's have the upward look and be positive in our outlook and make right choices. Thank you very much.